What to expect in a juvenile deprived case in Oklahoma. Few legal proceedings are more stressful for a parent than learning that a juvenile deprived case has been filed involving their child. These cases often begin suddenly and can leave parents feeling confused, overwhelmed, and uncertain about what will happen next. Because deprived proceedings can ultimately affect custody, visitation, and even parental rights, it is important to understand the process and what to expect at each stage of the case. The case often begins with a DHS investigation. Many cases of deprivation begin after a report is made to the Oklahoma Department of Human Services, DHS. The report may come from a teacher, doctor, family member, neighbor, law enforcement officer, or another individual concerned about the child's safety. Once a report is received, DHS may conduct interviews, inspect the home, review records, and gather information regarding the child's living conditions. Depending on what is discovered during the investigation, DHS may determine that court intervention is necessary. In some situations, the child remains in the home while services are offered to the family. In more serious situations, DHS may seek emergency custody of the child before a full hearing can be held. Emergency custody hearings move quickly. If DHS believes a child is in immediate danger, the agency may seek emergency custody. Oklahoma law requires the court to hold a hearing shortly after removal to determine whether the child should remain in protective custody while the case proceeds. At this stage, the court reviews the initial allegations and determines whether sufficient grounds exist to continue the child's placement outside the home. Although this hearing occurs early in the case, it can have a significant impact on how the matter develops. Parents should take these hearings seriously because early decisions often influence later proceedings. Parents have important legal rights. Many parents mistakenly believe they have no ability to challenge the allegations once a juvenile deprived petition is filed. In reality, parents have important constitutional and statutory rights throughout the case. Parents generally have the right to receive notice of the allegations, attend hearings, present evidence, cross-examine witnesses, testify on their own behalf, and be represented by an attorney. Because statements made during a deprived proceeding may sometimes affect related criminal investigations, obtaining legal advice early is often extremely important. The court must determine whether the child is deprived. The filing of a petition does not automatically mean the allegations are true. The state must ultimately prove that the child meets Oklahoma's legal definition of a deprived child. At the adjudication hearing, the court hears testimony and reviews evidence from both sides. Witnesses may include DHS workers, law enforcement officers, teachers, doctors, counselors, relatives, and other individuals familiar with the family's circumstances. The judge will determine whether the allegations have been proven and whether the child should be formally adjudicated deprived. The court may order services for the family. If the child is adjudicated deprived, the court will often order services designed to address the issues that led to the case. The goal is frequently to help parents remedy the problems so the child can safely return home. Depending on the circumstances, parents may be required to participate in counseling, substance abuse treatment, parenting classes, psychological evaluations, drug testing, anger management programs, or other services. The court closely monitors compliance with these requirements. Parents who actively participate and demonstrate progress often place themselves in a stronger position for reunification. Regular reviews will occur. Unlike many other court cases, deprived proceedings involve ongoing judicial supervision. The court will schedule periodic review hearings to monitor the family's progress and evaluate whether the child can safely return home. During these hearings, the judge reviews reports from DHS, service providers, attorneys, and other professionals involved in the case. The court may modify visitation, order additional services, or adjust the permanency plan based on the family's progress. These reviews continue until the case is resolved. Visitation is often a major issue. For parents whose children have been removed from the home, visitation often becomes one of the most important aspects of the case. Courts generally encourage meaningful contact between parents and children, unless there are safety concerns that justify restrictions. Judges frequently examine whether parents attend visits consistently, interact appropriately with their children, and demonstrate a commitment to reunification. Missed visits and lack of participation can negatively affect the parent's position as the case progresses. Parents should treat every visit as an opportunity to demonstrate their commitment to their child. Reunification is often the initial goal. Many parents assume that DHS is trying to permanently remove their children from the outset. In reality, Oklahoma courts often begin with reunification as the primary goal whenever it appears that the child's safety can eventually be protected. The court wants to see whether parents can address the concerns that led to the case. Successful completion of services, stable housing, employment, sobriety, and compliance with court orders frequently help move the case toward reunification. However, reunification is not automatic and depends heavily on the parent's efforts throughout the case. Termination of parental rights is the most serious outcome. If a parent fails to make sufficient progress, or if the circumstances are particularly severe, the state may eventually seek termination of parental rights. Termination permanently ends the legal relationship between parent and child. After parental rights are terminated, the parent generally loses all legal rights regarding the child, including custody and visitation. Because termination is such a serious consequence, Oklahoma courts provide extensive procedural protections before parental rights may be terminated. Fortunately, many juvenile deprived cases are resolved before reaching this stage. Tulsa family lawyers. Juvenile deprived cases involve complicated legal procedures, strict timelines, DHS investigations, court hearings, and decisions that can affect a family's future for years to come. The actions a parent takes during the first weeks of the case often have a significant impact on the final outcome. Because a deprived case can affect your relationship with your child for the rest of your life, obtaining experienced legal representation as early as possible is one of the most important steps you can take. Our Tulsa custody attorneys can help. For a free consultation with an Oklahoma family law attorney at Kania Law Office, call 918-743-2233.